everyone, and welcome back to Dueling Park News. And if you are new, welcome. My name is Chase, and I am here at Universal Orlando Resort to check up on our Hollywood Drift construction. From CityWalk looking into the construction, we see that there's not a lot going on right here at the moment. Our crane has been moved over to about midway above those footers, but the real excitement is what's taking place way in the back with the maintenance bay. Zooming in may be a little blurry, but we can see now that they are making some progress back there. So once we head in, we'll be sure to take a look at that from that vantage point. However, this might be the best look at the roofing. I mean, honestly, yeah, this is probably the best look at the roofing, because when you're over back there, all you can really see is the fire station facade itself and part of the maintenance bay. Now, in the last video, we did see where they were putting up siding on the station in the back, so that maintenance bay area. And it did look like they had put some more track going through the load and unload station. So let's head over there. Well, we'll eventually get over there. Let's go to Hard Rock first and see what's going on. It is another beautiful day here in Orlando, so hopefully something's going on, because it's a beautiful day for construction. From the arches, we turn left, heading towards the Hard Rock. Who knows, maybe we'll see that crane move. Down the winding Lagoon path we go. You know what, let's take a look over here when we get closer to the mulch bed area, see if there's been any movement with that. So from a visual perspective, I can't see too much being done right here. Again, I know it's just to help the debris from entering the lagoon, and the same goes for the one in the water. But yeah, here's actually a good shot of what the mulch bed around that concrete would look like. Maybe one day we'll get those mulch beds actually in here. Those new plants, those probably won't come until construction on this wall right here starts to near completion. Well, the first thing I'm going to bring up is the supplies. I mean, every time I come back, I just feel like it keeps growing and growing. But also something that caught my attention is this footer right here has been exposed now. So they must be doing some type of work for that individual footer. Other than that, I mean, again, supplies. Now, the crane being right here, I find that very interesting, because last week it was pushed towards the back, not being used. However, now that it's right here, I'm starting to get some, vibes that, hey, we're about to use this to put up some supports. Again, that's just what I assume. Maybe it's for these concrete structures right here when they lift them up and maybe put them in some holes that they're going to dig out soon. But guys, I mean, look at all this supplies being staged. I just have a good feeling we're going to see some supports out here in this section of the track layout sooner than later. Now, they are working back there on some of the footers. I can't tell you what they're doing, but you can kind of see how the ground slopes off towards that door. You see that guy on top of the footer? Yeah, behind him, the dirt kind of slips off back there. So maybe they're dealing with some of the foundation work over there. I'm not entirely sure. Well, let's go check out the power station, because I hear a bunch of grinding and banging. So maybe that means they're doing some good stuff in there. So I do see some saw tables, but they just walked under the cinder block structure. So maybe a lot of that is going on in there, cutting up some metal pipes. Guys, what are we doing in there, huh? Here's a good view of the roofing going on for this structure now too. Previously, like 2 videos ago, there was tarp laid out over the roof of this. Now we see that the metal roofing has been laid there. And oh, there's our guy. Yep, he sure is cutting some metal pipe. And here's our lovely transformers that have been added recently too. Back there is the switch track, looking great as ever. But I see that the real work taking place over here is actually in between the Blue Man Group and Rip Ride Rocket facade. They're all gathering over there. Looks like they're dealing with some footers. Looks like there's an exposed footer that still hasn't been placed yet. But it looks like there's some major work going on over there. As far as the CityWalk portion of construction goes, that is all I can tell. That's all I can really see. So if you guys noticed anything, put it in the comments and I'll be sure to check it out. Well, let's go ahead and enter inside studios now and walk towards the back of New York to check out the construction from that angle. And before we head in, let's just take a moment to appreciate the lovely paint scheme that they have brought to our front entrance over here. Now that we have made it inside studios, let's head towards the plaza stage area first, see if there's anything I can see from over there, because it's honestly been a minute. Usually I just go straight to the New York side of construction. Well, it looks like our wall has been manipulated a little bit, right? Was it always this crooked? I'm gonna have to actually look back at my videos to see. But let's go walk over here towards the screen, and well, we can see debris piled up right here. But as far as anything else, can't make out much other than a footer right in front of us. Peeking through the foliage like a raptor from Jurassic Park, we can see it. Well, we can kind of see the top of some machinery over here beside Jimmy Fallon. I'll try to get midway in the plaza area to show you guys. It might be hard to see though. Yeah, it's kind of hard to see, but you can see some pallets over there. There was a machine moving back there, but it's now out of sight. Again, this area over here is getting a bunch of footer work, so I'll have to look at some of BioReconstruct's photos and videos to see what's really going on. Well, let's walk around these walls right here beside Jimmy Fallon, and we'll head to what is supposed to be the entrance. And reminder, there are walls up over there, so the best way to get around it is to come through the little park right here, and then cut past that concession stand, and then you can walk around. And then coming around the corner, you can easily spot the blue track sticking up, and we will head over there to see if there's been any updates. Well, we have lots of machinery staged right here, but hey, look, here's our blue track. Isn't it just gorgeous? I can't see any more that's been added, and if I scoot over here to look inside and zoom in a little bit, there's not much else to see. Well, did they add some more? I can't really tell. I can tell that they've really added a lot of the roofing on, so I'm assuming the track going down the unload load area should be complete because the crane has been lifted out of there and all that roofing seems to be in place now. Now this looks very interesting over here above the concrete structure, which we all assumed was the entrance for the attraction itself. There seems to be some type of white cover over that portion of track. Anyone know what that is? Actually, what do you all think about the track itself? Are you a fan of the blue and silver? I personally am. The one in Hollywood is black, like Velocicoasters, which is, I feel like it's good to have that difference here, so we didn't have two black coasters in the skyline like that. Plus the blue just looks really good to me. That blue and silver, it'll look really good in our skyline and just kind of fits the vibes of Universal Orlando Resort. Well, there sure are a bunch of lifts over here, but not much action. It looks like all the focus is on the inside of the station today, so I don't know if we'll be able to see anything cool happening at the moment. That's okay. It still looks good. So we'll just walk around, we'll go check out Supercharged and see what else has changed over there. Last week, nothing really left the queue, but I'll hop in, hop out, and let you know. From our little spot on the outside of the Finnegan's construction, we really can't see any progress or updates in there per se. All we can really see is that the roof and the walls are just stripped completely out, and that's it. You know, they're going to town on it. They're making that Finnegan's look so good for us later this year. Although I will admit, I never really ate at Finnegan's a lot, so sorry. The Ghirardelli facade work has received a scrim that matches the actual facade itself, which I think is funny because not even the Hogwarts Castle got that. And you can see the scrim has moved outwards towards Supercharged entrance. But as far as that goes, that's just a refurbishment. So let's go into the Supercharged queue and see what's going on in here today. Well, I hate to fast forward back to outside of the queue and gift shop, but there wasn't that many changes in there today. Well, there wasn't any changes that I noticed today, so I'm going to spare you the Supercharged trauma. Well, I hate to keep this video relatively short, but there's not much going on for coaster construction today, and I did post that white cover on X to see what everyone is saying, and this is what someone has told me. And of course, that someone was a good friend. It was Dylan from Theme Park Obsession. Hey, Dylan. Dylan did mention that it looks like it is there for clearance because that is likely the area where they will put the tires that will propel you back into the next station, which would be that load and unload area. So there you go. It's potentially there to check on the clearance for when they put the wheels on and start doing testing. Well, everyone, that's going to wrap things up for me here at Universal Studios Florida. We got to see just a little bit of coaster construction updates, especially with some of the staging and moving the crane around and things of that nature. We also got to see that little white cover on part of the track going over that little concrete structure, which we assume, thanks to Dylan, that is for some clearance testing. Maybe soon. I would assume they would want more track in place, especially with maybe a train on it, but hey, who knows? I'm not the engineer, so I'm not going to complain. I just want to say thank you for watching. Be sure to stay tuned though, because this is going to be a crazy week for me. I've got some traveling that I'm going to do. Before I do that, I'm going to hop over to Islands and then I'm going to head over to Royal Pacific. So be on the lookout for a lot of content this week. And as always, I will see you in the next update video.